Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Parjanya's Playground. I am Rawrquaza. We're going to play some of this game. So, I think what's going to happen here is I'm just going to play... yeah, ooh, I'm going to play some Commando with one artifact on. And that's it. Because I want to mostly just talk about the new stuff that's going on. So, if you saw my last video, you'll know that shit's happening. However, what happened was the update didn't come out, otherwise I would have made a video immediately. The update is coming, the 1.0 release of Risk of Rain 2 is coming on the 11th. I just looked at this 2 seconds ago and my brain is falling apart. On the 11th of this month, which is the 8th month in the year. August. Yeah. I'm going insane. Dude, I need to get out of the house. I don't need to get out of the house enough that I'm, gonna get out of the house anytime soon until America gets its shit together with the pandemic and stuff. But, I am losing my mind. And my mind was already pretty gone. Anyway, okay, so it's the 11th of this month. It is currently, as of recording this video, the 4th. The video will probably be up on the 5th. So we got a little bit. I have been playing Risk of Rain quite frequently over the past week on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Rawrquaza. You can go over there and hang out with me or go watch VODs if you're interested. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, so we know that, what do we know? There were 2 blog posts, or announcement posts, or something. 1 blog post and 1 announcement post? I don't know. 2 informational distribution attempts were made by Hopo since the last time I recorded a video. The first one is the date, which was the 11th, and also contained the new playable character and a little bit about him. His name is the Captain, and he has a gun. And my understanding is that he has a shotgun that if you charge it up for a little bit, it becomes it narrows the spread and becomes more like a concentrated, rifle shot almost. And then, in addition to that, he has he has 2 buffing effects. One of his buffing effects are, it's a healing buff, and the other one is an armor buff. And, so that's cool. We'll talk about that at some point. We don't know if they're separate abilities. I'm assuming he has 2 abilities that are buffs, or maybe it's, I don't know, one ability that can have multiple effects and you toggle between them or something. I don't know. Anyway, okay, and that's what he does. We also know. I don't even know. What do we know from that one? I didn't look at that one before coming on here. I'm talking out of my ass. Okay. Anyway, the second update that they had was a dev thoughts where he talked about several things. So hold on. Kill these guys first and foremost. Let me scroll up a little bit here. So the big things that they talked about was that they are reworking a lot of items, which is, good. There's a lot of talk about players having more control over individual runs, which is really cool. More interactability, more agency, right? They did say player agency, more ability for the player to control their own run, which is cool. And to that effect, they've reworked a bunch of items and added some new items, mostly equipment and boss items and lunar items, they said, that are, you know, changing the game or providing synergistic effects of some note. I highly recommend reading the post so that I don't have to just summarize it, but I'm down with everything in there. Bring it. I'm ready. I have absolute support for that. There's also it's called the Scrapper. So this is a new. Oh God. Okay, wait a sec. Yeah, we'll get to. We're redesigning Bleed. Okay, this is in the. Never mind. We'll get to the Scrapper in a second. In the category of player agency and item rebalance, they're reworking Bleed because it wasn't strong enough, I guess. Bleed now is the duration of bleed stacks are refreshed by applying new bleed stacks. So as long as you keep hitting an enemy, if you have 7, you know, I don't know if they're changing the numbers on the chance to proc, but 7 tri-tip daggers, assuming no numbers change. As long as you're hitting the enemy, it's refreshing all of the stacks of bleed, which is keeping the damage ramping as long as you tap the enemy once every, you know, what, couple seconds. That, just by itself, in a vacuum, and we don't know the context of other changes or anything, but these changes to Bleed make it sound insanely overpowered. That's just the take that, the people in my Discord and I have been talking about. It seems nuts. However, we do lack context for any other changes that they may, be doing to Bleed, like lowering the damage, or I don't know. I'm just prepared for 7 tri-tip daggers to actually be the 7 best items for any build. You just put them on, and then you just keep attacking an enemy, and you can kill anything. It's interesting. It's gonna be, I don't know how it's gonna look, because we do need the context of the other things going on in order to really figure out what they're going for. I don't know. The other thing that they said was they're changing Runald and Kajaro bans to they no longer have a small chance to hit, but are always guaranteed to proc on any attack that deals, in quotes, large damage. So that's interesting, because you can kind of choose when to hit enemies with your Fire Tornado or your Ice Nova, and they're also buffing the size of the Kajaro band, which is the Fire Tornado, to make it more of like an AoE thing, which is interesting and kind of cool, and kind of I like it because I think Kajaro's band was the less reliable of the two in the first place. So what do we got? Okay. I mean, like, I don't have any healing, but we do have 3 teddy bears, so maybe it'll be fine. Okay. But yeah, this, I don't know, the Bleed thing is like a huge attack speed buff and tri-tip dagger buff. I already thought that 7 tri-tips was like an extreme value for the investment, but this, I guess we'll see. It'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting. Okay. So the Kajaro and Runald, we got buffs to underperforming items such as Monster Tooth Head Stompers, ooh, Effigy of Grief, and Interstellar Desk Plant. That's cool. They said that they were small buffs, but, you know, buffs nonetheless. Okay, and then some things they also said have received no changes at all. They expect items to, because of the fact that the final boss works the way that it does, items that are extremely, extremely good, like Ukulele, Ceremonial Dagger, the AoE clear items that everyone in Risk of Rain 2 is extremely fond of getting. Things like that are not as powerful against the final boss because presumably he has few ads or no ads or something along those lines, and he's a single target that we're going to have to focus down. So that's interesting. There's also... okay, then they go into the Scrapper. And the Scrapper is a new piece of... a new, like, spawnable... It's like a chest or a... it's in the world. Or like a shrine or a 3D printer. It can spawn similar to those. And what it lets you do is choose any items that you have and turn them into scrap. And scrap is like an item. So if you turn in, if this were a scrapper right here, I could turn, and you can choose which items it takes. So I could turn in my rusted key or my crowbar, and it would give me scrap for it, which is basically a tier 1 printing material that I can then go to a 3D printer, and 3D printers accept scrap before trying to take any other items that you have. So it's a tactical way to preserve certain items while and it's supposed to be, the trade-off, I guess, is that you're lowering your theoretical power, right? If I'm printing away my items and turning them into scrap, it's just I'm basically exchanging my rusted key, which could potentially be useful for future 3D printing potential that is you know, an unknown value, right? Which, to an extent, I understand. The other side of that argument that I had was that some items in Risk of Rain 2 currently, and this, you know, might change with buffs to, for example, Monster Tooth or whatever, but especially in the current game state of Risk of Rain 2, there's no reason for me to ever care about fresh meat, for example, especially beyond 1 stack of fresh meat. The same thing with Monster Tooth or even Rusted Key, although, you know, at large amounts or even moderate amounts of Rusted Key stacks, that could be valuable, and people can attest to that. But I think personally speaking, I would definitely print those things if I had the opportunity into other things. Now, so whether or not the scrapping mechanic ends up having much opportunity cost at all, and keep in mind 1 fresh meat right now is actually saving my ass quite a bit, but the problem is the way that fresh meat stacks currently. It stacks duration of the buff, which is not incredible when the buff is not a hugely impactful thing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But, so I think the scrap mechanic is going to be a very strong one when we figure out what items are actually useless and, figure out which items are important to the build. I think that does build on the agency thing, though, because I can be like, oh, hey, right now, the only items that I really care about are my teddy bears and my attack speed, and then other than that, literally everything else I have is uninteresting. So, and then you turn it all into scrap and then hope that you find a printer soon rather than late. But yeah, so that's really cool. I actually think the scrapper is going to be neat. I think that the rarity of the scrapper is, you know, I hope they figure that out. Hopefully it's not like Order Shrine rare. Otherwise it won't be useful that often. But I don't know. I'm excited. I have no problems with that. It honestly seems like a very... It's a power spike, I think, for players. And maybe the bleed thing is also a power spike for players. Maybe that's what they're going for, is adding these extra power spikes because of the next thing that I'm going to talk about. Let's talk about the next thing. The next thing is Eclipse. If you have ever played Slay the Spire, then you'll know what Eclipse is. It's Ascension level. If you've ever played Monster Train, you'll know what Eclipse is. If you've ever played... there's a lot of games recently that have come out with this Ascension mode. It's just a layered series of difficulty modifiers that just increase the difficulty based on how many times you've won. Griftlands has it. That's all the games that I've played recently that I'm thinking of are the ones that I'm saying, but there's many more, just recent ones. It seems to be more and more common. It's so when you... I'm gonna paraphrase. When you... So there's tiered difficulties, right? Up to a maximum of 8. When you beat the game... Hold on, I'm gonna read what they say. Eclipse is a new game mode that adds stacked challenge modifiers each time you beat the game, up to a maximum of 8. This is tracked separately per survivor. So, 2 things. One, it sounds like they're going more for a sort of streak thing. So, the longer you streak, the harder it gets, up to the maximum of 8, and then you can probably just streak as long as you want. Isaac has that, right? That would be the you know, prime example of that mechanic. I need to be careful. 5 crowbars is no joke. I like that in concept. It's really going to come down to what these difficulty modifiers are. The 2 that they have, that they show in the blog post, are ally starting health minus 50%. Ouch. That's that, not... Ally starting health cut in half as the first modifier. And I don't know if these are randomized or if they're set. I'm assuming they're set. I would be surprised if there's a random list, because that would be kind of cool. But I also don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be. I'm going to try and heal here first. I guess it doesn't matter. We can heal at the other spot. And then the second one is teleporter radius, minus 50%. I'm not... I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, about the teleporter radius one. That seems to me to be worse than the health one. Maybe that's why it's second. I'm hesitant about these modifiers because I don't know what they are. And I just, you know, I trust Hopo to find something that's fun. And I just hope that it's not things that I hate completely. That's all. I don't even know what things. I honestly don't know what things I would hate completely. I would have to try them. I can't even think of examples. Things that are not fun in Risk of Rain for me have really become apparent with the Artifacts update, though. I do not enjoy playing when enemies have, like, for example, repulsion armor plating. That is a horrible time. There's a lot of items that enemies can get that feel like they just invalidate your run. a lot of tier 3s. When enemies start getting tier 3s, that can be a very large a point where it's like I'm unsure if I'm having fun or not, or if it feels fair, I guess. Oh god, I really need to not get hit anymore. This mushroom is scaring me. No, dude. Please. I need to be very cautious. Crowbars are horrible. Ukuleles are great. Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh. Ukuleles are fine because I'm only one man. Void fields are so scary. I don't know. Another example. What other artifacts do I hate? See, I think enemies having items is a volatile, chaotic type of fun. But, because don't get me wrong, I play with, what is this item? Oh, that's Deathmark. I've never actually seen it on Commando. I play with it on occasionally, but I definitely don't want to spend most of my time playing with that artifact on, because you know, and you can just turn that off. So I guess that's not a huge deal, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if these Eclipse challenges, or you know, Eclipse difficulty modifiers, are something that is enjoyable to play in or not, or you know, how that syncs up with artifacts, or I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested. To another degree, I also feel like, personally, I don't like figuring out what I don't know. It's a weird thing. Okay, I'm gonna back up because this does not actually strictly apply to Risk of Rain 2, right? I'm gonna go broad. When I play video games, on stream or not on stream, regardless, I'm always going to pick the hardest difficulty available. Sometimes this is fine. The reason I pick the hardest difficulty is because challenging things are enjoyable. It's a good feeling to overcome difficulty, right? However, sometimes there's, at the risk of sounding bad, and lol get good, I might just not be, it might just be the you know, a case of I'm just not a good enough player. I'm putting all these conditions in front of what I'm saying. But certain things, when you turn the difficulty up, and difficulty is such a broad term here, sometimes some ways that difficulty gets turned up is not an enjoyable experience. Here's one example. Okay, God of War, the one that came out most recently with Kratos' son, is an incredible game. That's actually an amazing game that I love. However, you do start off with the option to play on a difficulty level that is extremely tedious. When I started playing it for the first time blind, I picked that difficulty, and I played through the game on that difficulty. But at the beginning of the game, enemies, the first set of enemies in the tutorial that you fight, were absolutely devastating, because they had an absurd amount of health. You had to spend... I spent many hours. I spent like 2 or 3 hours, I believe. It feels like it, at least. I guarantee it was at least an hour and a half. But my memory, it was a while ago. It might have been less and just felt like it. These enemies took so long, and I died so many times because they had so much health. Later on in the game, you know, after I had learned the mechanics and, you know, like, figured the game out a little bit and had gotten some gear with stats on it that allowed me to do more damage, the game became more tolerable and enjoyable, right? Because I was then actually able to accomplish some goals, but it felt weird, right? There's something to be said for kind of a curation of your difficulty. And like, I don't even know what I'm getting at. I for the most part, I trust Hoppo to make these kind of decisions, but on the other hand, Hoppo does give me a lot of options, and they can't... Here's the other thing. I can't expect Hoppo to tailor the difficulty to every person so that it's something that every person likes, right? That's unreasonable. And I understand that, and this is more of just kind of musing about difficulty in video games. Because, you know, what's difficult for me may not be difficult for some other person. And it vastly depends. But to a certain extent, I feel like toggleable difficulty modifiers, like artifacts, make me personally feel bad. Because if I don't enjoy playing with some of these difficulty modifiers on, I feel like I am not playing on the hardest difficulty, quote. And maybe that's something that I personally need to get over. I don't know. I'm just musing out loud here. It's a great example that I think doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, because I think it's pretty universally accepted. Risk of Rain 1 has the Distortion artifact, which is the artifact that randomly locks one of your skills every 30 seconds. So that artifact is horrible because you lose 1/4 of your kit, completely random, every 30 seconds. It's very jarring to your playstyle. You, like, there's no, it feels like you're losing... That feels like it's removing agency, right? And because it literally is. But if you were to take the same artifact and say at the beginning of the run, one of your skills is locked, or for the duration of the stage, one of them is locked, and it switches every stage, that might be a little bit more palatable. But the trade-off is that then they're having to ask, oh, is that something that we can actually do if you're playing as Commando and the game decides to lock your primary fire, you are actually probably just screwed, right? Because you're only going to be able to attack once every, 5 seconds or whatever when your Full Metal Jacket comes on cooldown, or comes off cooldown. But so, I don't think it's a stretch to say that Distortion just feels horrible to play with. But then if you turn that off, I feel bad and I can't unlock Origin. Maybe as a one-time challenge or as a neat thing to do sometimes. You turn on all the artifacts. You maximally pimp out your difficulty modifiers. But it can leave a bad taste in my mouth. Because to a certain degree, holy crap, dude. Man, unfortunate. Aegis is not what I was looking for. I don't know. It feels bad. So, I don't know. What's my point here? I'm rambling. Yeah. A little bit. A little bit. I guess what I'm getting at is I have apprehensions about, I don't like, I do like the concept of consistency and, you know, being forced to perform at a consistent level despite some restrictions. And I hope that's the main point of these Eclipse modifiers, right? Being able to show off that I can beat the game consistently over 8, you know, increasingly difficult rounds per character. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like I'm adding stakes to my runs, you know, and it's as I stack the wins up, I'm also making the, you know, the challenge higher. I just hope that one of those modifiers isn't like, hey, you fucking can't use half of your items because they are poison to you or something. I don't know, dude, but you see what I'm getting at. I don't want the final Eclipse modifier to be like, hey, buddy, screw you. I want it to be like, hey, now you have 17 more bosses to kill. That's fun. Give me stuff like that. Don't be like, hey, all enemies always have 10 teddy bears. Because that's not enjoyable. I hate it when enemies get teddy bears. You just get blocked all the time. It feels bad. Oh, hey, you now do 1 damage. Ah, crap, dude. I don't want to do that. That doesn't feel fun. I don't know. Anyway, hope it will do fine. I'm just talking for the sake of it. I also really don't like teleporter radius. I don't know what it is about teleporter radius. I feel like focus convergence, I've actually taken it once or twice. I don't think I've taken it that many times. Maybe I just need to take it more. But I feel like most of my Risk of Rain teleporter strategy is the bigger the teleporter, the more options you have. And taking away your options is pretty horrible. I guess, maybe that's it. Maybe it's an agency thing. And maybe that's what they're talking about, right? I guess as long as they're keeping that in their focus and trying to keep player agency intact. I want to be able to win and lose based on my skill level and the choices that I make. I don't want to lose to, you know, every enemy is a Malachite elite. I don't know. I honestly, like, yeah, whatever. I'm done with that one. Please, if you have any idea to add to this conversation that would help me focus what I'm talking about, or even if you disagree with me about things, especially, because that, like, when I'm talking to myself like this, it's harder for me to form an opinion. Because I have to create a straw man. And the straw man is the audience. So if you can, in the comments, or, you know, in my Discord or whatever, if you are interested in helping me flesh out yourself in my eyes, and what the straw men that I'm creating actually giving them a voice, that really does help me narrow down my own opinion, because then I'm like, you can say, hey, I actually like focus convergence. I think it's good that the teleporter area is reduced because it, you know, I have to stand there and then all the enemies can target me. and then we can argue, and I'll be like, no, that's freaking bad, and it'll be good because then I can. That's just how it works. I don't know. Please have feedback. I'm gonna bring this up. We're gonna talk about this because this came out yesterday or today, and I haven't streamed yet. So we're gonna have all this conversation, and maybe my mind will be changed, or we'll even come to better conclusions about this kind of stuff during the stream tonight. I don't know. I'm hoping, because I love talking about game design. It's just interesting. The games are fun. It's interesting to talk about making games and choices that are made. Like the role of the developer in deciding difficulty and whether players should even... I'm of the opinion that as far as difficulty options are concerned, if I had to pick, I would say never give the player a choice of difficulty, except as an accessibility option. I am fine with easy, medium, hard difficulty. If you have more than easy, medium, hard difficulty, I'm gonna start to look a little cross-eyed. And I think maybe that's my problem with artifacts, because it's not always a clear-cut easy, medium, hard, but it's sort of interpreted as such sometimes. And I don't know. The other side of that coin is that there's things like command, which explicitly make the game easier. And while that is, I think command is a necessary option, right? And I've gone on record in the past as saying I really want command so that I can try interesting things. But as far as the difficulty goes, command objectively makes it easier. And I would prefer developers to curate their own difficulty rather than leaving the curation of, oh, I think that... I don't know, because... I don't know. I'm at odds with myself. I would rather someone... On the surface level, at least. I'm just reading myself. I would rather someone curate the difficulty, and then I have to overcome that. But then, at the same time, I also, in the same breath, will say... the game has to be hard. So, it's maybe what I'm asking is impossible. I'm asking for impossible things, and maybe I don't know what's good for me. But maybe that's also my point. I don't know what's good for me. As a player, I don't have the same vision that a developer might, right? It's not my creation. I don't want to interact with it how I want to interact with it. I want to interact with it how the developer wants me to interact with it. And if that way is choosing my own difficulty, then I guess so be it. I don't know. I've been talking in circles for too long. I think that Bleed is going to be incredible. Bleed is going to be so strong. Tri-tip dagger is already, in this build of the game, extremely strong. I highly recommend printing out 7 tri-tip daggers. After this update, it'll maybe be the new sticky bombs. I don't know. No promises. We'll see. But it actually is going to be nuts. Another great example of, like, player curation of their own difficulty is Sacrifice. And I think Sacrifice is more of a... Excuse me, let me out. Sacrifice artifact is the one where enemies drop items and there are no chests on the stage. But the point here I'm trying to make is that it's grandfathered in, right? So it's too late to do anything about sacrifice, I think. It's grandfathered in from Risk of Rain 1. But I also do think that sacrifice completely messes with the balance of Risk of Rain entirely. It removes a lot of any of the carefully balanced time director point spawn things, right? Because what happens is you don't have to spend any time on a stage to get stronger. You just rush the teleporter as quickly as you can in order to pick up, to overcome that time is difficulty thing, and the items just pop out on the ground. Whereas if you don't have sacrifice on, you have to farm money. You have to locate the items. There's whole things. And then not to mention the, like, certain areas where time is stopped and you can just farm items forever, which is, I don't know. But I feel like that takes it significantly alters the scope of developer-intended challenge or difficulty or vision. I don't know. However, because of the way that sacrifice works, it's almost a default. Almost. Not always. But, and there isn't even necessarily anything wrong with that. I should have looted up there. I don't have sacrifice on. There's a chest on my screen right now. I don't know. I don't know, dude. Bless you, Lady Quaza. Sneezing over there. Yeah, I don't know. How's your day been? This build is going alright. We have fairly okay defense, not a lot of recovery. Anyone else feeling that COVID life? My God. The world is fucked up right now. The world's fucked up. My life personally, I wouldn't say fucked up, but it's definitely extremely busy, and it's only gonna get busier. So we're having a child, and while I'm very excited for that, it also is obviously going to bring about great change and many new challenges. And while I relish those challenges, there are also other things to consider, such as, the state of the world and how that's going to impact everything. I don't know. It's rough. I had to freaking... Lady Quaza's computer is screwed up. And, I'm trying to fix that. And then our car needs, like, its wheels replaced. I have to go we have to figure that out. There's a lot of stuff. Being an adult is hard. Stay a child as long as you can. You hear that advice everywhere, but, like, actually... For real. If you can live with your parents, go do that. As long as you can. There'll be plenty of time in your life for the rest of the stuff. You'll get there. Good God. I haven't been using my grenades basically at all. You know, my build is actually probably better than I give it credit for. We got some good stuff going on. I don't know, is the default game maybe just a little bit too easy? But then, yeah, I don't know. Some of the items are... the artifacts are such a trade-off. A lot of them are. Like, glass, it's very strong. And it does cause you to play the game in a different way. Does it make the game more difficult? It honestly depends. Whether it's an advantage or not depends on how good you are at dodging, how good you are, or how, you know, what items you have. If you have command on, glass is almost just straight benefit. I'm not going to say entirely because I guess glass really makes you suffer from mistakes much more. Like if this were glass and I got hit by that shock elite imp, that absolutely would have probably most likely killed me. I don't know. That's interesting. It's just interesting. Also, trying to balance in Risk of Rain, such a volatile game, right? Between runs, every run is varying in power so extremely that you can't, it's I want the game to be perfectly balanced every time. You know, that's every run I want to have maximum player agency. Maybe I'm asking a lot, and I am. What can I say? I'm a player. That's what I do. I'm a gamer. Gamer's gonna game. And Hopo will do fine. And when I say Hopo, I mean everybody. They're doing great. Keep it up. I harbor no ill will. They'll figure it out. They don't need me to tell them that they'll figure it out because they're doing incredibly. Honestly. This game rocks. And I'm very excited for the boss and the new character. And I hope that we get more content. I love content. Nom 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 nom. Delicious content. Many tier 2 chests. Yo, Hopo Feather. Now we're gonna live forever. You fools. Hopo Feather, the single item with the most agency that it grants. I think. Like, the difference between having a Hopo Feather and not having a Hopo Feather is so big. Give me money. I'm not talking to the game, I'm talking to you. Give me all of your money. That's right. I said it. Oh my god, there's so many tier 2 chests. What the heck? Ukulele, so good. I looked at the time and I was like, 29 minutes. I've been recording for much longer than 29 minutes, and then I remembered. Oh yeah. You do spend approximately 100 years in the void fields. Where was the teleporter again? Yikes. I always do that on this stage. I'm like, oh, get the chest, and then... What was I doing again? I'm excited for new music, too. You know what? Another Hopo Feather is not going to be the worst item that we could get. I'll take it. Oh, hey, how's this for a good discussion? Yesterday, I learned how armor in Risk of Rain works. I did not previously know that there was a... Or maybe I did know at some point, but I completely, absolutely forgot everything about it. About how armor was a percentage-based system. Not armor plating. Repulsion armor plating. That's a separate thing. But the armor from, for example, the difficulty modifier, or item that you get when you are on a low difficulty, the Rose Buckler, and the armor that you get from Jade Elephant, and a couple other sources. Armor that characters have by default. It's actually just percentage reduction, and there's a formula and stuff. And I had no idea. That was not something that I had invested time into researching. Hello, where is the teleporter? Please? Anyone? There's many items. Oh, baby. 2 Will-o'-the-Wisps. Not really, incredibly great yet. But, not bad. Oh, the teleporter, please. Is it over here? Dude, I don't know. It's over there. Sparkles. Far too much time spent on this stage. Did we get value out of it? I mean, yeah. Doesn't mean I didn't waste time. Ah, yes. Horrible demons. Imp Overlords, one of the worst enemies in Glass. Oh, we have Deathmark now. I also was told that Deathmark doesn't stack like it's supposed to. I don't know the exact specifications on that, but... I mean, our damage seems great. We could use another couple statuses just to consistently proc status effects. I think our status effects are coming from Wake of Vultures, which is not an ideal source. Because it's not consistent. We need like a Chrono Bobble, is a very easy one. We have bleed. We have... Well, we can get gasoline occasionally. We need Chrono Bobble and we need Stun Grenade, although that doesn't work on bosses, so you gotta go... I don't know. Shattering Justice, maybe. That would be ideal. Shattering Justice is very, very good, I've been told, as a result of how armor works. So, you know, never let me complain about Shattering Justice again. I don't think I did anyway, but, you know, I don't know. Bleed is gonna be nuts. Even just one tri-tip dagger. It's gonna be so good. Hot take, maybe? I think tri-tip dagger should be a tier 3. If you were to just... like... Don't change much about it. Just up the chance a little bit, and it would be a tier 3 if you added the stacking thing that they're gonna do. Oh, whoops. I didn't realize you were charging up. What made him death marked? Yeah, it had to be the Wake of Vultures. So maybe Wake of Vultures is a much bigger tool than I'm giving it credit for. Ow. I love the music on this stage. Ah, stun grenade. That is useful. Oh yeah, the other thing that I was going to talk about that I didn't. No, I did. Never mind, I talked about it. It was like the idea that people... Not everybody has the same idea of difficulty, right? Some people are just looking to have fun with their Risk of Rain gameplay. Not everything needs to be super hardcore. And that's absolutely okay. There is nothing wrong with that. You know what I want? I want that wax quail. Yeah, baby. This is a pretty good run. I need to be careful. Because this is usually where it starts to go wrong. We don't have enough single target, consistent single target to bring down things before they can bring me down. So things like scavengers are going to be an issue. Things like quick moving, high damage things are going to be a problem. If we get elite, like Elder Lemurian swarms, that's going to be rough. I'm going to have to focus on dodging a lot, I think. We don't have amazing recovery. Guillotine is so good. Recycler is very good, and I'm going to take it. I value Recycler very highly in the current state of things. Alright. Well, that was a good use of Recycler, at least. I feel like Recycler is one of those things. It's like a first attempt at the player agency, right? They're trying to give you a little bit of control over your item drops. It's not a huge amount of control, but it is, in fact, a degree of control that is very useful, and I'm going to take advantage of it if I can here. I don't know if we have enough time to really pivot this Recycler into a meaningful impact on the build, but we might. Maybe right here. Well, not this time. Tougher times is good, though. I'll absolutely take it. Is this just gonna yeet him off the edge? Well, we're getting lots of squid turrets. Yikes, that is an expensive freaking... Hey, we got to listen to the full song. Almost. Ah, yeah, overloading Elder Lemurians. As I previously specified, this is a pretty bad, not a great situation. Or I just need to be careful. I'm going to spend my time trying not to be in the teleporter, or trying not to, you know, stay out of the teleporter, but also simultaneously, I will leave at the first sign of anything going wrong. We're actually doing great, and this is fine so far. Just need to not let this guy shotgun me. Lots of mushrooms too. Sneaky bastards. We are doing incredible amounts of damage. I take everything back. I don't feel like our damage is very consistent. We got a lot of mixed effects going on, nothing really coherent, but, you know, whatever, dude, ride the wave. There's like one Lemurian somewhere. Oh, hello. That's a grenade if I ever saw it. Hey, buddy. Well, we have, our defenses are actually pretty good, because I don't feel very panicked at all. There's a million wisps here. It's not really an issue. Yeah, I don't know if Deathmark stacks the way it's supposed to with increased damage per stack, but we're taking it anyway. Because I don't know the specifics on that one. And we survived. So my build must be good. Good stuff. I need that bleed, dude. Big bleeds. It's incredible to me how difficult the Beetle Queen is before you get one Hopo Feather versus after you get one Hopo Feather. Beetle Queen becomes an extremely easy boss. Although if you get hit by her shotgun, then it's a lot of damage. I guess that's rather the point. Oh, I need your money? Stop running away from me. I'm not sold on... I think as your attack speed gets higher, the grenade becomes more and more of a DPS down because you have to aim it. Hello. Oh yeah. Okay, this is a reroll. Yeah, well. Can't win them all. I have infinite money. What do you got for me? I think that we're on track to fight the scavenger. And I think we probably have the damage to do it, depending on what scavenger we get and what items they get. I think scavengers are potentially some of the worst enemies in the game. I should have re-rolled it. Ooh. 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 All right. Well, that was fortuitous. What a bounty. All right. I don't like this elite. Get out of here. Okay. Let's do it. Well, this has been a severe power spike. That helps immensely. Ooh, ATG missile is also big. Oh wait, no, we already had one. That's our second ATG. Not having an ATG versus having two, or like, so going from not having an ATG to having an ATG is pretty strong. because other things can proc off of it. It's one of those proc chain items, therefore very important. However, the power spike from going from 0 to 1 is much larger than the spike of going from 1 to 2. Because it just increases the damage, which is still good. But could have re-rolled into, for example, Chronobobble. Chronobobble is good now. I hate to say it. Chronobobble synergizes with Deathmark, and the slowing effect that it has is not useless. In order for the slowing effect to be useful in a vacuum, I think you need more Chronobobbles than is recommended, or is efficient, I guess. But, I cannot deny that it does have use now. And I don't have it, so. Alright. We're doing it. We're going. Need to be very cautious. Templars exist. I need to be extremely cautious, as well as Malachite elites. At this point, I would consider trading my recycler for a blast shower. I think that would be a worthwhile equipment. However, until such time occurs, you know, I'm not gonna go to Aurelianite. And the reason for that is I want to cut the video's time down. I feel like this video is too long for my internet to handle. Uploading. You know what? Open this. Open. No. Oh, dude. Heck yeah, more predatory instincts? Absolutely. No! I hit Q! I don't need War Banner. Oh, hey, speaking of War Banner, which is not an on-kill item, I will purchase this. What's this? You know, I almost want to, but I won't. Oh, hell yeah. Crit. Thank you. They did tease a new item that has the worst name. I think it's too long. It's not concise enough. It's called Please Forgive Me, and it is an equipment. Or sorry, Forgive Me Please. Throw a cursed doll that repeatedly triggers your on-kill effects. I think that item is going to be great. However, hello. I would like to re-roll. Can I not re-roll? There we go. I think the name is... It irks me. I'm irked. Beware lest you be irked. Hello. Ooh, crusted lockbox. I'm picking this up. Okay, we gotta get a mosey on here. There are many items, though. I'm gonna re-roll that. Okay, just check over here real fast. Give me the money. There haven't been any good printers lately. Kind of unfortunate. I will wait 12 seconds for this. Oh, that's a good one. I could re-roll into blue meteorite? Ooh, maybe. Might as well try. Oh, that's the damage. Wow, that's the damage. It happened. It was right there. Did you see it? Everything was death marked. And then dead. Now, I don't know if we can achieve that sort of damage against the final boss. I will take Harvester's Scythe. Not only does that give me crit, but... Well, please reroll. Recycler. Recycler, please reroll. We're popping off. It is popped. I can't complain. This is a great run. We've just been getting good shit. I should have turned on Doppelganger. Doppelganger would have been horrible with this run, but I should have done it anyway. I don't know, Doppelganger also can be really screwed up. I do enjoy playing with that one on, though. There's a lot of tricky business that you can do with Doppelganger that's... You can lure them out of bounds, you can just outrange them and they're dumb idiots. Hello, please let me... Why can't I reroll this? I should be able to. I don't know. I'm taking this because potentially I might need it. Don't do drugs even once. Except when you need them. Hello, please give me money. Call me Mr. Krabs if you must. Stealth kit I'm gonna take. Stealth kit's low-key one of those items that I have the utmost respect for. It's a tier 2 that I love. It's just very, very strong. And I don't think any amount of stacking makes it less strong. It's not like I have a choice but to take it. I don't have my reroll anymore. very dead. I'm a little slow movement speed-wise. Ah. I feel like I'm spending a lot of time here. Why am I buying more? You know what? Yeah, a second Beads of Fealty. Absolutely. You know, I still don't have my pristine pearl or whatever it is. I've never picked one up. All these healing chests. I want damage chests. Where's the damage? Yeah, baby. Only 5 gas, but I'll take it. More radius. That's just extra death mark chance. Oh, movement speed. Thank you. Almost as good as damage. Moonstriders. Absolutely fine. Hey, stop being invisible. This isn't exactly an efficient spot, but I don't know. Feels like pretty safe. I'm keeping it range like this, except when you're sniping me. Hello. Just gotta stay in the air, really. That's how we're gonna live through this. There is a horrible demon somewhere. This seems like a grenade situation. Yeah, oh baby. Hey, someone, if you're watching this and you're good with computers, come and tell me how to upgrade my computer. I need assistance. I'm just looking at the, I need a better processor, and I need to know if I need also a new motherboard or not. Or like, I need a cost-benefit analysis here. That seems like something you're capable of doing. At me in Discord. I know! I'm fighting the boss! I know, it has been 1.5 hours. I'm in the hidden realm, a moment fractured, Lady Quaza, and I am currently en route to obliterate, but instead of obliterating, I will be sucked into a void portal to fight a awakened scavenger. It should die, either it or I should die in approximately 2 minutes. So, that's what I'm hoping, at least. If it doesn't, then something has gone terribly wrong. Wub wub. Okie dokie. Who do we got? Kip Kip. Gura Gura. Uh-oh. He's got a Shattering Justice and a Clover already, so that's horrible. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing this. I can't see, but we're doing it. I think Gura Gura always has the Clover. I think that's the thing. However, as long as we keep circling, I don't think his left click is the big arm cannon, and that's replaced by the eyeballs. Which might mean that I'm fine, because he can't hit me ever. Does he also have tonic? I think he does. That's horrible. Look at his health bar. His health bar, not the one at the top of the screen. No, dude. Predatory instincts, it's fine. Energy drink, that's fine. I still don't have Spineltonic affliction. Excellent. Okay, that's horrible. I got hit, dude. Chronobobble. That's fine. Just gotta stay off the ground. Please. Repulsion armor plate, that's not great. Come on, baby. Oh shit. It's very bright. Ah, he healed. Tougher times. This is beginning to be horrible. Because now I'm not getting crits, and my attack speed is getting lowered. Oh no, dude. Gasoline is kind of bad, because, yeah, right there. Alright, well, we did not pass the DPS check that was Gura Gura the Lucky. That actually sucks. That's horrible. Outplayed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy. Subscribe, hit the bell to something, notifications, something. Give me money. That's about it. Take it easy. Bye.